All right, the duffel
Right.
bags are packed, the Dramamine has been swallowed, and the only spare tires we have are the ones situated around our waists. It's time to take the high road.
Oh, that was a dad joke, right? Spare tire around the midsection.
You wouldn't know anything about that, Jake.
You know what? I'm not a dad, but I've been working my whole life on getting a bod dad. Bod dad. Jeez, I swear, I'm 100% sober on getting a dad bod.
Bod Dad. Well, we know what the name of the episode is.
I have a bod dad.
Get yourself a Bod Dad.
Well, we took a 2-week hiatus and now we're back. Jake, welcome back. We got our friend Douglas on the line here. It's been a while. Good to see you again, Doug.
Yeah, thanks for having
Good
me.
to be here. What was the delay?
Great to be here.
Yeah, I mean, there was such a high demand for you to return to the show. We thought we'd have you back again. I think our audiences were missing your witty comments and your intellectual thoughts about sports. So, we wanted to have you back. And our favorite number one listener, Becca, I think did a personal request on our Instagram, right? Let's have Doug back on the show. I think or is that something I just made up?
Yeah, have my huge fat face back on the only time I notice my huge fat face is when I'm on your show and I have to look at the screen. It's unbelievable. What a nightmare.
I think you look good, bud.
Thanks, man. This is a lot of facial hair going on. Some backwards hats. Yeah, bunch of guys in their 40s.
This is a real bod dad type situation.
Athlete body right there. James, 3 topics. We got 3 topics. We got flag football, your coaching, and how your team is not coming together. We have the first day of the NFL draft, and we have NBA playoffs going on. I mean, I think, sorry folks, if you're not into all the sports stuff that we're talking, but that's what this episode's going to be about with Doug.
So we're sports heavy this week.
Sports heavy. I mean, we got a lot. Month of May, we're doing that month of music. So let's get some sports in before we're all just talking music for the next month.
Some of us are heavier than others, like my huge fat face.
Dude, what is going on with you? Like, do you want us to start over? Just like,
it's so depressing.
Well, is it
how fat my face is on this camera?
Well, you started really close, and you were like,
no.
But now you're fine.
All right. Thanks, man. I need positive reinforcement from you guys that my face isn't hugely fat.
Who watched the NFL draft? Did you guys watch it?
Jake and I did. We watched it.
Not together, but yes, I went to one of my favorite establishments and watched a few picks for. Well, I got some spicy nachos.
What were there any surprises about the draft that you guys thought were surprises at least?
Doug, I'll let you. I'm sure you're just ecstatic about Sanders not getting picked. I don't know if you're a hater or you just wanted to laugh about it.
Yeah, I think it's more funny because, like him and his dad were talking about getting, like guaranteed top 5 pick and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's definitely funny to me that he's still on the board. I mean, the funny thing is the later these quarterbacks get drafted, usually like the more success they have. So like, they usually get drafted by like a better team, and a lot of these like top couple picks that are quarterbacks historically, I think actually I think it's like a 50-50 coin flip whether they're successful or not. And so, but the guys who can maybe even be a backup somewhere for a couple of years, I mean, usually they're way more successful. But for whatever reason, these guys, keep wanting to get drafted top 5.
Well, I have to say, yes, I think the quarterbacks were interesting picks, but a lot of defense. I don't know. I forgot exactly everyone on the first round last year, but I felt like there was a lot of defensive line, a lot of O-line, and just 2 quarterbacks and maybe 2 running backs. It was very interesting.
Yeah, Jake, I noticed the same thing. I actually counted because I was curious. There were of the top of the first round picks, there were only 8 offensive skill guys. There was a lot of interior on both sides of the ball, a lot of defensive players, but I think there were, 2 quarterbacks. I think it was 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs. I don't think that adds up to 8, but so maybe I counted wrong, but it's something like that.
Less than half were the offensive Showtime major players.
Yeah, not a lot of super exciting picks. I know Green Bay got the wide receiver they wanted. I know they were pretty pumped about that. The Giants moved up, traded up to get Jackson Dart, the quarterback they wanted, but not a lot of exciting offensive guys in the first round.
I want to go back to the Sanders thing. I don't watch a lot of college football. Is his skill level like NFL ready, or is it more of a don't want to take on that baggage of his dad being around and just everything that follows, or is it a skill thing?
I don't know. I didn't watch a ton of him. I mean, I did think he was good. I didn't think Colorado was playing at the highest level. So, maybe, I mean, look, when guys are playing in the SEC, I mean, they're playing against a lot of other NFL guys. And so I just didn't see a whole lot of, tough competition when I watched him play. I don't think I don't think he has his dad's speed. If I remember, again, I haven't seen his like combine numbers or anything. But I don't think he's like super fast. I think, his major attributes are like accuracy, stuff like that. And so I don't know, maybe I don't know why he dropped, but whether it, could be a baggage thing for sure. Like you're saying, James, I mean, one of my buddies texted me last night that he's the LaMelo Ball of the NFL, which I thought was a pretty apropos comparison.
I think teams are hesitant to have that drama and have to deal with that family possibly. I don't know the ins and outs of maybe some of the reasoning, but I will be shocked if he doesn't go next round.
Well,
Yeah,
James,
I mean,
who's still looking for quarterbacks?
I'm actually going to pull that up right now, but my internet's not working. But I mean, you're still got the lower end of the lower teams drafting, right? Second round. Titans obviously are not. Jaguars are not. Giants got their guy. Patriots have their guy. So the Browns, would he go, again to the Browns in the second round?
I think Cleveland and the Las Vegas Raiders, I think, are both kind of needing a quarterback.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so the second round just popped up. So like Browns at 4, in the second round, Vegas at 5, and then obviously my Bears at 7.
Yeah, I get why the Raiders got Genty, right?
Coveted pick, it seemed like.
I was hoping the Chargers were going to pick him up, but I mean, I didn't even know before the draft that they had picked up Harris from Pittsburgh. So they have kind of a veteran, but it does make sense to get a younger quarterback for the Chargers, and hopefully he develops into something amazing. We'll see.
Are you talking about running backs or quarterbacks?
Running backs, yes, for running backs for the that got taken.
So yeah, back to the Sanders thing. I can't imagine he's not going to go early second round unless there's serious issues with either his talent or just personal stuff.
You're obsessed with Sanders, man. Like, I feel like you've gone back to him 3 times now, but you know what? I'm going to let you talk and get it all out.
Well, because for everything I had heard up until, recently was he was going to be at a top 10 pick, right? It was until recently, until like the last 2 weeks or so, it was like, well, maybe he won't go first round. I was like, well, that's a major drop out of like, top 10 to not even being in the first round.
James, am I reading this correctly that Cleveland in the second round has the first and 4th pick in the second round?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would make a lot of sense that he'd go in the top 5 of the second round if you have Raiders at 5 and you have, 3 of the first 5 picks in the second round or teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think Vegas is, as much as I think they've made bad decisions, except for Bowers last year. I think their offense has struggled the last couple of years. I think if they can pick up Sanders as a QB and they got an awesome running back, I think they might be one of the top drafting teams. We'll see.
Who did you guys pick up, Jake? Your Chargers?
It was running back Hampton. It wasn't.
Wow, the Hampton. That's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kind of jump from Sanders to running backs because I wanted to talk about my Chargers, but that was selfish of me. I should have let you finish your bit about Sanders.
Were you done with your Chargers, or you got more to talk about?
I have just the other comment I wanted to make is, yeah, they needed a younger good, got rid of Dobbins, and they needed a young, hopefully successful running back. But I feel like their receivers, McConkey was amazing, and I don't know if any of the either Johnsons are going to show up, and they got the old dude Mike Williams back. So it's just a hodgepodge of wide receivers. I think they could have gotten a really good receiver instead, but we'll see how it plays out. Maybe Herbert's got some more dump passes and sweep plays that they can do with a good running back. But I'm hoping Chargers definitely more explosive on offense.
And Douglas, were you excited about your Niners pick?
Oh yeah, Mikael Williams. Yeah, that he is a quarterback hating game wrecker, and I'm super stoked. I think he'll book in Nick Bosa nicely on the edge, and I mean, look, you look at how championships are won in the last decade, and it's the teams that can protect the quarterback and get to the quarterback, and so yeah, I was kind of thinking the Niners would go O-line, but there were the top 3 O-linemen went off the board before they even had a pick, and so it wasn't surprising that they went on the other side of the ball with an edge rusher who is an absolute freak, and I'm super stoked about it. With that said, James, Niners got to get Cam Skattebo. I mean this kid is an absolute gamer. Obviously, he's not a first round guy, but like, man, if they could pick him up like in the 3rd round somehow, he's like such a Shanahan guy, and I'd be shocked if he wasn't on their radar as a potential 3rd round pick. But you got to in San Francisco, they got to shore up the O line. It was rough last year. Trent Williams is not the Trent Williams of old. As good as he still is, he's just an old dude now. And so yeah, got to do something about the O line. Got to protect the quarterback. Brock's going to get paid a ton of money. Probably in the $50 million range. Any day he's probably going to get that extension. And so you got to protect him. And yeah, should be good stuff.
Speaking of protecting the quarterback, James, how about our Bears?
Yeah, so I thought that they were the rumors around Chicago were that they were going to trade up for Genty, like they were going to somehow make a move up to the top 5 to try to get him, because the Bears have 2 early 2nd round picks, so they were going to maybe package the 10th pick that they had and then one of those 2nd round picks to go up. I was a little nervous about that, but going that high for a running back, but apparently this guy is already Hall of Fame worthy. According to some. But when that didn't happen, I thought actually they were going to get Williams, the edge rusher out of Georgia. But then they went with Colston Loveland, which I had heard about him, but that was more of a situation if they were going to trade back. And they didn't. They stayed at 10 and picked him in front of Tyler Warren, who I think was the number 1 tight end, right? The board. And I'm honest, I don't know anything about this Loveland guy. So like I said, I don't watch a ton of college football. I can't imagine that Chicago radio is going to love that pick. I'll listen later today and see what they're actually saying. Just a tight end in the top 10 when we already have Cole Kmet, who's like a pretty decent tight end that we haven't been using for 2-3 years. But we brought in a new coaching regime. Like we have a new coach. We have so maybe he has a plan that I'm not privy to.
Do you think Bears will pick up Skattebo on the 7th or 8th or 9th pick, 2nd round, or no?
Yeah, just to piss off Doug, I think.
I feel like that wouldn't be a bad choice for them. I mean, I think is Swift still on the team?
Yeah.
I feel like he's past his prime. I think if Niners or Bears I think it'll go. We got Cleveland. Is Chubb back? And I mean, I feel like they're gonna. It's a wash for Watson, so I feel like the Browns will pick one of the quarterbacks first.
You said Browns quarterback? Yeah, I think they have to, right? I don't. Who's their quarterback now?
I don't even. Is Watson still on the roster? I mean, if he is, he was a wash.
Well, he's on the roster, but he's injured, right? And he takes up half of their salary cap.
Yeah, the right now the starting quarterback in Cleveland is either Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett. So so yeah, they're going to draft a quarterback. The I part of the issue is like when you draft Shedeur Sanders or any rookie quarterback, like it's tough to throw him in there right away, as opposed to letting him sit behind a guy for a year or two, because man, you can ruin quarterbacks. I mean, I know I'm the only one still living in Fresno County, but we remember the David Carr days of how good he could have been if he wasn't getting sacked every third play for Houston, and just absolutely ruined his career. So, and there's obviously more stories than that. That's just the first one that comes to mind. But yeah, man, to say like, hey, we're gonna Cleveland's gonna draft Shedeur, he's gonna be the starter day one. That's risky. It's risky.
We could talk about my local Cowboys real quick. So where I was at. I'm not going to mention the establishment because I don't do advertisements. But it was funny when they made their pick. Everyone was just like, "Oh," because it's just tons of Cowboys fans at the restaurant I was at. I mean, at the establishment I was at. But yeah, I think Cowboys. I don't think this is their year to make any real good gains. We'll see.
It's always their year, Jake. It's always their
That's
year.
and Cowboy fans say that every year. Probably the worst about it. But it's like, what did you do to improve? Did you get new coaching staff? Did you actually draft players? Did you trade for players? And Cowboys think that without any movement or change or real improvements, they're going to get better. Like, I don't know. It's mind-boggling, really.
Well, they drafted a center with the 12th overall pick. I don't know if that's ever been done. It probably has at some point, but I was a little shocked at Dallas, who is typically like this flashy, like they want these flashy picks, and for them to go and draft a guy who is gonna is too small to play anywhere on the O line but center. Now obviously he's very good.
I thought he was a guard, but are they going to play him for center?
Yeah. So what the guys were saying yesterday is he's listed as a guard, but he'll probably be moving to center. I don't know. That's what that's what Nick Saban and Herb Street were talking about yesterday. At any rate, we're talking about an offensive guard or center. It's like the least flashy position, but whatever. Go Cowboys.
Based on first round, who's putting themselves in the best position between Niners, Chargers, and Bears? Don't just say your team because you like your team. Be realistic.
Just based on the draft or the whole team?
The whole team plus yesterday's draft.
Well, I think the Niners are probably in a better spot if they can stay healthy.
Oh, Doug, I meant to ask, what's the deal with McCaffrey? I've not been following him.
That's a good question. I actually haven't looked in on him in a while. Man, I watch so much San Francisco Giants baseball that all my Twitter time is baseball right now. So I'm not totally sure on McCaffrey. Here's what I'll say to answer your question, James. The Chargers are going to be lucky to get third place in the AFC West. I mean, you have like the Chiefs, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Denver is on their way up. Like they're going to be really good. And so just based on the division, I don't think the Chargers have much of a shot. And look, I like the Chargers, Jake. I really do. I think they're good. I think that the division's so tough. The Bears are a dumpster fire every year. And again, you're talking about Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay in their division. It's going to be really tough for them. Whereas I look at the NFC West with the Niners, like the Rams are okay, the Seahawks are okay, Arizona's not okay. I don't know. Like talking about the easiest road to make the playoffs, I think the Niners have it for sure.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I think they're just in a easier division,
concur.
and they're just a well-coached team, I think. So yeah, that's why I picked the Niners.
Let me circle
Good
back to
question.
Sanders. James wants to circle back to Sanders. All right, so real quick.
How
real
big
quick,
are his arms? What is his arm length?
18 inches,
wingspan.
bro.
Are
Oh,
his
I thought.
feet clean?
No. So Sanders, what team you calling? Who's gonna pick Sanders?
The Browns.
I think it's gonna be Cleveland with the first pick in the second round.
Okay. What about Skattebo? Who's picking him up?
Well,
uh,
I mean, if we're being honest, there's like the board, like the big board still has him as like the fifth best available running back right now. So like he's not gonna be around. I mean he's not gonna get picked for a while. But I truly do, and I'm not even like I was half joking a little bit, but in all seriousness, he really is a Shanahan guy. Like I can see Shanahan loving him. I mean, he can move. He can actually like move to fullback, which Shanahan loves fullbacks. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like I could totally see him going late and the Niners picking him and him actually impacting the Niners this year. So I'm going to say Skattebo goes to the Niners.
I
And
really
James,
don't have any.
James agrees with
He shook his head yes. So if you're just listening, James was very aggressively nodding his head up and down. But to be honest with you, I haven't really followed a lot of other players, especially like O-line or not even really any corners or any defense. So I'd have to look at the list to see. I mean, it's not like I'm part of the picks process, so I'm not going to invest that much time into researching it.
oh, they're not calling you for advice.
That seems surprising.
Yeah.
After those few episodes of Late Lines, they just kind of figured we didn't know what we're talking about, so they're good. They pass.
All right. Well, let's pivot over to your Giants, Douglas. This is interesting. So overall, we got the Mets, Padres, and Giants as the top three teams, which ironically are our three teams.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been pretty happy about the season so far, Doug?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, like there was like the Vegas line for the Giants to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season was 22%. The Vegas line for the Giants to make the playoffs now is 51%. So yeah, it's been a really, really good, first 25 games of the season. And I'm super fired up at. I think what I'm most excited about for the Giants is that they're playing so well, and like some of their big stars are not playing well. Like they're and so like there really is room to even get better. Look, I mean with the Dodgers, roster, it's going to be tough. The Padres are really, really good as well. That division is insane. I mean, I think a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago, I think the best three records in baseball were the Dodgers, Padres, and Giants. And so, it's going to be a long road in that division, but yeah, super fun. I mean, I think by this time last year, my heart was checked out. I mean, it was already, I knew it was going to be a rough season. And so for us to be in contention right now is where I'm having an absolute blast. We have stars like Jung-Hoo Lee, who has been incredible. We have old guys. We have old guys doing stuff that I wasn't expecting with Yastrzemski and Flo. And so, yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. Now, I know that your ones and ones of listeners probably couldn't care less about what about the Giants, but I appreciate you giving me 3 minutes to chat about the Giants because I'm very passionate.
Doug, just so you feel a little happiness or glad that you spoke about the Giants, I do have my buddy Chris, who I interviewed a couple weeks ago. I think most recent episode. Huge Niners and San Francisco Giants fan. So he's probably loving your little segment about that because he's got jerseys, Joe Montana jerseys. Like this dude is not obsessed, like unhealthy, with his obsession, but one of his rooms has a lot of San Fran paraphernalia, or not paraphernalia, memorabilia.
Does he have a Giants gnome by any chance? I don't know if you guys can see my Giants gnome.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I didn't do an inventory of what he has, but I feel like he's got probably some stupid stuff some interesting stuff like that.
Okay, this right here, since we're bringing it up, see this box? So those are my 20 favorite Giants of all time. And I have cards like signed cards and stuff of each of them, and they're in order, like my favorite player to all the way down to my 20th favorite, just right in this area. See that?
Where is Will Clark located in that?
Ooh,
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I think he's top 10, but I'm not. I don't think I have him top 5.
Okay. Well,
What about,
who's your top 3?
I'm guessing because I haven't looked at that box in a while. Madison Bumgarner, Buster Posey are going to be 1 and 2, and oh my gosh, all right, hold on. Oh,
Where do
and
you-
then Matt
where-
Cain. Matt Cain is number 3.
where do you have Brett Favre ranked?
Where is Shedeur Sanders in that box?
Shedeur is not quite in my top 20 yet.
Oh, Maynard. It's funny is we have a lot of Central Valley listeners, so I'm guessing the Giants talk is probably something they do enjoy. We're just catering to our fans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about Oakland A's? You want to talk about them?
They're
Yeah,
not even. There's not even a team.
They're the Las Vegas A's now.
I know. I feel like everyone's jumping ship out of California and just.
I mean, you're one to talk. You live in Texas.
Yeah, well, the military sent me here, so I stayed when I was done, and I like it for now. So,
I'm super jealous.
I'm not a bandwagon fan. I've rooted for teams pretty much where I've been stationed. Like when I was in San Antonio, I became a Spurs fan and got half season tickets and enjoyed doing that. And I was just never hardcore. I was, a Padres and San Diego's Chargers, well, when they were San Diego, fan growing up. But a lot of my family was from Detroit or Chicago, so we were rooting for some pretty crappy teams from Detroit and in Chicago. So I was kind of always rooted for mid to not good teams. So, yeah, I might root for the Maverick, or I used to. Now they're dead to me. But I just can't get on board with being a Cowboys fan.
Give it some time. Just give it some time.
So I don't have.
You're gonna meet a lovely lady who's a big Cowboy fan. You're gonna be living in a Cowboy household.
Nope. I'm gonna be meet someone in Knoxville and be a Tennessee Volunteers fan. Is that what Tennessee? Knoxville?
Yep, you nailed it. Yep, the Lady Vols. Yep. Yeah, we're all rooting for the Lady Vols.
Oh, I knew I should have just not included that. But no, a lot of the cities I did live in, I didn't have a professional team in all the 4 major sports. But I think Knoxville, if I live in Knoxville, I might go to some college games. Not to be a creeper, just to go root on my local college.
Yeah.
I'll hit on the professors, not the students.
Oh my goodness. James, here's the deal. I got to bounce soon, and I'm dying to hear. I'm dying to hear about your flag football. Like so can we go to that real quick, and then you ask me NBA after I'm off.
We can, but I don't know what you wanted me to talk about, Jake. But you brought that up.
Well, I mean, Doug knows a little bit about what's going on with the texts you've been sending and blaming me for your inconsistencies and inadequacies with being able to produce a good team. I've done what I could remotely, send you some drills and plays and mindset to have. And I feel like you're not taking it on wholeheartedly, and therefore your players are not taking it on, and you're not creating the right culture for your team.
That's true. That's very true. No, I started out like regimented. I was like ready. All of our practice plans were there, but then I get out there and it's like the bad news bears. And I'm like, well, I can't do this. Like, they're not going to meet me halfway. It's halfway through the season now, and I'm just kind of phoning it in, to be honest. But to be fair, the idea was you were going to come and live here for a while and maybe help me coach. I sent him the rules to the game. And like 35 minutes later, he's like, I'm out. He's like, I don't understand these rules.
Yeah.
I can't.
Rules are tough.
I didn't say I didn't understand the rules. I said I didn't like the rules. Big difference.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're like, these rules suck. I'm out. And I was like, well, now I'm just on an island coaching a sport I don't really know.
Sink or swim.
It's tough. We're like an all 7th grade team. We play 7th and 8th graders. We're pretty small. But the biggest thing is, Doug, we're trying to play like a cover 2. And I'm saying, listen, my back guys, you cannot let anybody behind you. Nobody. The last 2 games, the first play of the game, just 50-yard bombs, touchdowns.
Yeah.
I was like, what aren't we understanding? Don't let anybody behind you. Like, I don't care. Go stand on the goal line. Do not let anybody behind you. But they're just 2 weeks in a row. And then we get down and then our heads are, low. I was like, we're only down 7 points, guys. Like, there's plenty of time left. I'm not a, listen, I know basketball well, and I don't feel like I'm, I feel like I know what I'm doing on the basketball court more than I do. And on the football field, I'm just like, I need help out here. Like, how do I tell this guy what to do? Like, I've never played this version of flag football. So it's been tough. It's been a tough season. I'm ready for the season to end 2 weeks ago, but we still got 3 more weeks. And honestly, it's tough. We only get like 1 practice a week. So it's, as much as you can do. And somebody's sick every week. There's always somebody sick, somebody injured, somebody forgot their cleats. We had two dudes last week playing a game with just like running shoes on like a wet field. I'm like, well, best of luck out there, fellas.
Yeah, it sounds like you just were set up for failure, really. And I'm a part of that, so I wanted to apologize. But James, yeah, you're a good enough athlete. You know football well enough. I feel like don't focus on technique and the small things and the simple things are important. But you can control and try and influence them with like having a good mindset, a good culture, with wanting to hustle. Yeah, who cares if you drop the pass? Get back in line and hustle and do it again. And like let it go. That's a touchdown. Let it go. Or even like talking about, yeah, we're down 7. Isn't it going to be an awesome story talking later when we have a comeback story about scoring 2 touchdowns, and people don't want to focus on the good story of the opportunity to win a game instead of like, how fun is a game where your team wins 30-0. It's like, all right, well, I got everyone in and everyone felt good about themselves, but was it really exciting? Not really. So I feel just getting them having that mindset as a competitive athlete. And I know we talked last night where you're having trouble them even wanting to be there. So first of all, you're dealing with unmotivated kids that don't even want to be there. So that's not what I was dealing with for the most part. So it's already, someone's ringing my doorbell. What do you want? Shut up, Google. But
Go get your gun. Go get your gun quick.
My shotgun. With that. But no. So I made a quick list, James. Work on these things because instead of just technique and drills, motivation, they got to bring it. If they don't have it, you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
But you can still.
You can stop there then. We're done. We're done.
No, but you can still push home having discipline. They're not motivated to do a drill. Well, that's where discipline comes in. I don't feel like being out here right now, but I'm being disciplined and out here to coach and get you guys better. Some might catch on after you keep repeating that, right? Just discipline. Why are we doing this?
And get physical with the discipline.
Right. Whoa, what?
I mean, I'm just saying it works.
Like push them or like grab them by the arm and like,
yeah, just give them a good shake, like a good hard.
That's
that's
not on my list. Let's not include that one. And pushing the mindset of hustle. And here's the other thing. I know, what is it, 12-year-olds that you're coaching?
13, yeah, 12, 13.
And I'm going to push that. I mentioned this when I was coaching to the girls quite often during our flag football season. But it's like the little things, like eating well. Yeah, you're young, you're a 12-year-old. You're not thinking that eating a Big Mac every day is going to affect you. But as far as healthy fuel, like eating healthy and feeling your best energy with good nutrition, hydrating, like kids that are just not hydrating and drinking during practice and just 2 hours and you're still haven't needed to go to the bathroom, like you're already dehydrated. Sleep, and then having that culture of just wanting to be there. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be there, but still just try and focus for an hour and just get through it.
Well, I'm with you on culture. Like for my basketball team, like I feel like I've set a culture of like what's expected at practice. And if you're going to play on my team, this is what we're going to do. I'm having difficulty with the football mainly because I don't care as much. And we grew up in the Central Valley, or Clovis, and Doug, you're still there. Are the kids like your youngest son's age? Are they still like motivated to like play? Because like here, it's not like it was when we were growing up, or maybe it's just a different part of the state where it's like these kids really have pride in like wanting to win. Where my kids are like they don't they don't seem to care if somebody's just walking right right over them. And that's tough because it's like, how do you motivate that? I don't know. Is it still something like the pride of the valley type situation?
I mean, I do think that there is a culture in Clovis specifically that of the importance of athletics. I think it's too important to the parents a lot of times that kids are winning, and so a lot of times the motivation is it's coming from, you know, overly aggressive dads, which I try not to be. But but no, but James, I know what you're saying, and you know, we don't deal with a lot of kids that like don't want to be there. Like, you know, I like the kids that we're playing with in all the sports typically are pretty passionate about it, pretty competitive, probably overly competitive. And so, yeah, it's not like what you're talking about isn't super familiar, like to me with my 12-year-old and the teams that he's on. I would probably say it's maybe on the opposite side where I'm trying to remind like my kid, like, hey, like this is supposed to be fun. This is not a job. Like enjoy this, you know, because he's gonna get burnt out if he doesn't. You know, luckily I've had 2 older boys who have had who are athletes, and so I kind of know like what to push and what not to push, when to push and when not to push. And so so yeah, it's a really good question, James, about, you know, kids sports, like the culture on kids sports. I see so many, like on Instagram, I see so many like funny memes about sports parents or whatever, the cliches. And the thing about Clovis is that almost all those cliches are legit. Like it really is a different, you know, way of doing sports here in Clovis for good and bad.
Well, I think it just there's successful people, athletes that still live in the valley, and you know, and there's good schools all the way from, you know, grade school to high school that just have always had competitive people, and I feel like I noticed that in the suburbs of Illinois, like very successful former student athletes that live in my sister's school district, and they made very disciplined kids that are athletic and competitive. And I feel like just certain areas, just the kids grow up with just being on iPads and life's easy and they don't have to work for anything. And then all of a sudden they're thrown into the sport to play because their parents want them to play, and they're not trying to be working hard. They hit a speed bump or a challenge or have to put in some extra work, and they don't want to do it. And granted, we're not doing a boot camp for 10-year-olds that it's just making it miserable. But I think James, we were talking last night, James has that challenge with how do you get them excited about the practice when they don't like doing drills, when they don't like doing certain things. And he can't even offer like, hey, if you guys work hard for the first half of practice, we're just going to scrimmage, you know, the second half. Everybody for the most part, likes scrimmaging. It's just fun. You get to, you know, execute all your skills. But James can't even do that. He doesn't have enough players to even go 7-on-7. So there's like no motivation for the kids to really push themselves, even in like the first half of practice. So I don't know if it's a SoCal type of mindset or just Long Beach, but I feel like even when we're growing up in high school, like you worked hard. And if you didn't work hard, then you just kept working and didn't get to do anything fun with scrimmaging in whatever sport you were playing. And I don't know if that was just lost by a generation because life's so easy and they don't want to work hard. But there's still some areas around there, I think, around the U.S. that breed a culture of being competitive. I think Clovis is one of them still.
Yeah, it's interesting here because like some of the middle schools here don't even have sports. And then the ones that we're in Long Beach Unified, it's 6th through 8th grade. So like if you're in 6th or 7th grade, you're probably not playing very much. So the school sports here up until, you know, maybe your varsity in high school don't seem to matter that much. You know, if you're a basketball player, you'll go play AAU. If you're a soccer player, you'll play club. And other than that, it's like it's not a lot. So, you know, I would actually like it if my kids, so I'm saying like my kids aren't motivated to be there. They're there to hang out with their friends it's not even the parents pushing them. It's like they want to play, but they just want to be out there with their friends, not to actually like compete or get better, which is sad because I have a handful on both teams, but my basketball team and my football team, who are willing to like really put in the work. My son being one of them, just because that's the way we like raised him. Like if you're going to go out there, you're going to compete and you're going to play hard. You're going to be at every practice because your teammates are counting on you to do that. So him and a couple other dudes, I feel bad for. I'm like, man, this might be the last year I'm coaching football. So yeah, it's been a tough ride, but it's been an experience.
I appreciate that you got out of your comfort zone, James, and you tried a new challenge. So good for you. Keep challenging yourself.
I do it every day when I do this podcast with you.
That hurts.
All right. Hey guys, I got to run. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'll listen after you guys post, because I really am super curious about your NBA analysis. So go strong on the NBA analysis so I can hear what you have to say later.
All right, we'll do.
You and my buddy Chris, they're the only ones that are going to listen to the sports edition.
All right. Yeah. Say hi to Chris for me. See you guys.
I will. Go Niners.
Playoffs are started, NBA playoffs. I've been able to watch a little bit, but with the kids, like sports, I'm kind of following on my phone or listening to podcasts and recaps later. Are you watching a lot of NBA?
I'm not watching a lot, but I would say I probably try and watch a half a game a day, just chilling in the evening. And maybe I'm just kind of thinking, are you watching some of this NBA on your phone while you're coaching the practice? Because I feel like that's not setting a good precedent about
Yeah, maybe that's
focus.
Yeah, just me
Like
here.
coach, the kids are just gonna be like, coach
Yeah.
is just on his phone. Yeah. Run that route. Dang it, they still scored. Oh, what's the question? 1 second. Yeah, run the route. It's not hard. Do it. That's my impersonation of you at practice.
Hey, that's spot on, dude. Spot on. No, but I'm watching like the 4:00 game or 4:30 game up until a certain point, and then I'll come home and finish up the 7:30 game. So I'm getting like a whole game, but I'm getting like a first half of like the Eastern Conference game, and then I'm getting the second half of the Western Conference. The Western Conference has been fantastic.
Dude, it's been rough though, because all those games that are starting at like 8, 9 o'clock. I'm not trying to stay up till midnight to watch a West Coast game. So I usually just been watching. I'm not super into the East Coast right now. I don't think it's as competitive. I feel like it's dominant on one side. Yeah, OKC is 3-0. I can't believe they came back and against Memphis. I watched that first half and I was like, all right, I'm out. That's when I left and came home, because I was like, I'm just gonna go home and relax. This game's over. And then I was like, oh, just check the highlights for the Clippers. And yeah, it was OKC is crazy good right now. I feel like anyone can take it in the West. I think people are gonna probably be pretty haggard and worn out. I feel like a lot of the series are gonna go at least 5 to, if not 7, game 7. So I think the Eastern Conference is gonna have a easier path and probably be more well rested.
Yeah, I mean, in the East, the only series that I'm really even focused or paying attention to is that New York Detroit, mainly because I like Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. But Detroit's giving them, I don't know, putting up a fight. I don't think I've watched 1 minute of the Pacers, Bucks. Who else is there? I don't even know who the East.
Celtics are dominating. I forgot. Yeah, I don't even remember the matchups.
Celtics, Orlando, and then what's the other one? I literally don't know. Miami.
Blank.
It's Miami,
and
who? This is a good segment. Miami and who?
We got Pacers and Bucks, Lakers and Timberwolves, which I think is a good series.
No, stay east.
I know. Okay, you were right with Celtics and Magic, and then we have Cavaliers. Oh yeah, Cleveland is just amazingly good. I thought it was just a fluke, kind of like Houston, with just having a great record, but really not having the firepower to go far in the playoffs. But they're showing up. I'm kind of impressed with Cleveland, and Rockets are, I think, putting up a good fight. I know I'm going back to Western Conference, but the Rockets Warriors series is actually pretty good too. Like you said, I feel like West Coast is the most entertaining battles. But yeah, Cleveland's up 2-0 on the Heat. I don't know if they got enough to come back.
Yeah, so I mean, Cleveland is the best team in the East. I'm hoping for like a Knicks. I'm hoping for Knicks Cleveland in the East, but the Knicks are going to struggle against the Celtics if the Knicks get out of there. Looks like they probably will against the Pistons. But that East, it's nothing compared to the West. I mean, other than the Thunder Grizzlies, which has kind of been one-sided, even though last night the Thunder had to come back from 29. They're up 3-0, so that series is probably over. Nuggets Clippers that's the most I've watched of a series. I'm pulling for the Clippers, but you can never count out Jokic, so they're up 2-1 against the Nuggets. And then that Lakers Timberwolves, I haven't watched 1 minute just because of the way the series has been situated with my schedule. I haven't been able to watch. And then that Rockets Warriors, that was always going to be like a tough matchup for both teams, just because even though the Rockets are 2, they're going up against an experienced team. The Rockets really haven't been there, but I got to see that Rockets team play live when they played the Clippers a few weeks ago. That's a tough team, man. Like, they are just young and athletic. They're not going to back down. I think the Warriors are still going to come out of that, especially if Jimmy Butler can come back. So that the next round, is going to be good across the board. I think on the West, it's going to be really fun. Whereas the East, I don't really care until the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe. So, but yeah, I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, as my schedule dies down on the coaching, that I'll be able to watch more games. And if the Clippers come out of this first round, maybe you and I can go to a Clipper game in a couple of weeks. Bingo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as much as go ahead.
Well, I'll just say I recommend anybody down here or even in California to go check out the Clippers' new arena. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's specifically made for basketball. They did a good job. Like, when you would go into what was Staples and then became Crypto.
Crypto.com.
It was very much a Laker stadium, right? I mean, even when you go to Clipper games, you'd see the majority of people wearing Lakers swag. But this is, the Clippers' home. They're not under the thumb of the Lakers anymore as far as building their building or their stadium. So it's really cool. Like, what they did there was awesome. The outdoor facilities, there's basketball hoops for the kids to play on. There's like a 360 screen in there, so you can see anything from all angles. They have the stats. It's really awesome. So if you ever get a chance, and it's a lot cheaper than going to the Laker game too, which is nice. So
yeah,
if you have a chance, I would say check it out.
Yeah, and if we end up having anyone from the Clippers organization that listens to this podcast, maybe we can get a little kickback, or not kickback, maybe some gear, some swag for promoting the amazingness of the Clippers arena. But I'm excited.
Steve Ballmer.
Right. No, I definitely want to go see a game now that Mavericks. I saw 2 of their playoff games, one in Dallas and then another one in Minnesota during the playoffs last year. It was great when Doncic was still there and Kyrie, and I think me and my sister and her oldest Gabe are going to try and push going to a playoff game every season, but try and do a different arena. So if both LA teams make it to the next round, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to go to games in May. So I'm excited. Definitely want to try and do that, even though I'll be in the middle of my road trip.
Yeah, that OKC Clippers, if it happens, is going to be, I think, a good series. It'll be fun. The Lakers against whoever comes out of that Houston Warriors will be pretty good too. Yeah, the West is just awesome. I mean, I'm not saying anything people don't know, but so far it's been pretty good.
So I guess what we'll do is, even though we're doing the month of May is Music Month, definitely want to maybe talk about, if we do go to a game, and maybe talk about it and make fun experience and try and sell the Clippers even more and get some more swag, after we go to a game, just say how wonderful and amazing it is. And I feel like one of our dozens of listeners, maybe they know somebody who knows somebody, and they get a hold of us and say, hey, your 12 listeners, we want them going to our games. So here's some swag.
We'll become the official podcast of the Los Angeles Clippers. We won't say a word about basketball.
Yep.
It's some kind of road trip all the time, but this is the official podcast of the LA Clippers.
Yeah, I think I was trying too hard to be funny right there. I don't know if it worked out, but it's definitely a different vibe than last year. I was super excited being here in Dallas and trying to go to playoff games. and the Dallas Stars are in playoffs too for in NHL. So Dallas was pretty fun, last couple years, and I really enjoyed it. But just the way they treated Luka and dropping him, I just can't get on board with supporting that organization. Luckily, my girl Paige is with the Wings, so I might still try and go to some of those. That whole season is sold out, so I'm gonna have to just.
Is it really? They're already sold out.
Yeah, you have to get on a waiting list for 2026. So
Do they
they
play in
don't.
the same arena?
No, I didn't know that either. They don't play at American Airlines. They play somewhere else, like in Arlington. That's a smaller venue.
Okay,
So
so okay.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so when Caitlin Clark came to Los Angeles to play the Sparks I think do play at Crypto, but they have a lot of games at like the Pyramid in Long Beach because it's a smaller venue and they want to fill it up. So you
Yep.
never know. They might move some of the games to like a bigger arena if they're gonna sell out like that and they're gonna make more money, they might move it. So it might be
Yeah.
a way to
Yeah.
get in there. So
Oh yeah. I'm absolutely. I want to try. If I am going to go to a game this year for first game ever, to WNBA game, it would probably be when the Fever come visit. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's not crazy prices, like $300 for nosebleed. I don't think it'll get that crazy, but
yeah,
maybe 100, 150. I don't think that's too
yeah,
unreasonable.
it shouldn't be too bad. They're fun though. I mean, I like watching the WNBA or just women's basketball. It's a different sport. It's below the rim, but it's a lot more fundamental. So I feel like when the kids I'm coaching, I'll be like, hey, check out this girl because they're more fundamental, and my kids are still learning fundamentals. So
Yeah.
it's fun to watch. It's like watching like a different game, but similar in some ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. I get it. I think it's the most comparable because little things like with volleyball, like men's and women's volleyball, the net is lower, right? And so, but it's the same process, same like strategies usually with hitting and blocking all that stuff. And I think softball's a lot different. You know what I mean? But I think basketball is very different, but it's very has a very likeness on the same culture. And I just feel like the skill level wasn't where it needed to be, and that's why people didn't watch it. But now that we got some college stars that are showing up and being competitive, I think hopefully more people get on board and support the WNBA and watch games and buy tickets. But we'll see. I think the only thing and there's not really a sports team keeping me here in Dallas as far as obsessed, dedicated like Green Bay Packer fans. I don't know why you'd want to live up in Green Bay, but yeah, that's why I mentioned going to Knoxville because I don't really have any devotion to any teams around here. So why not go to a city that I don't really need to have a pro team there?
Lady Vols, baby. You're a lady volunteer. Nothing.
I'm counting to 10. You interrupted that, so now I have to start over because I'm not trying to have outbursts of anger. No, but yeah, NBA is fun. I think the West. I absolutely want to go to a game this year. I don't know if it'll be Denver, OKC, or LA, but I see myself going to one in the next couple weeks.
All right. Well, that wraps up our sports segment.
Yes, it does.
Well, we'll
And then
reconvene.
we'll do a follow-on episode to discuss and talk about some of my travels over the last month, and then post that as a second episode for our podcast.
Well, don't sound so excited about it.
I was trying to focus on the words coming out of my mouth, and like I was processing and still trying to talk at the same time, and it just the gears weren't turning fast enough to really add the motivation to it.
Failed.
Wouldn't be the first time.
All right. Well, good seeing you. Thanks for Doug coming on, giving us his NFL expertise and Major League Baseball expertise and coaching expertise.
Like I feel like he's just knowledgeable in all aspects of sports.
He is the smartest man we know.
Whoa,
that's not
no.
saying a lot.
Pump the brakes, okay. He's probably top 5, but not the smartest. Come on.
Okay. Well, Doug, you're one of the top 5 smartest men we know.
You're welcome.
All right. See ya.
Bye.